Hello again, I am Blunty. Quickly, two things. Number one, I will be live streaming the Splatoon Testfire Day 2 sessions. Those are the Australian times right there. If you can't be bothered doing the math, if you live somewhere else other than Australia, then go to Google and do it there, or go to any of Nintendo's sort of social media channels for whatever country you live in, like France or America or Canada or America or Canada. Same time zone, idiot. Anyway, if you want to come hang out, it's a fairly chill stream, except when I rage when I suck at the game, and it's pretty cool. Second thing, because I started getting asked a lot by the third session yesterday, because we did the same thing yesterday, streamed all three sessions, did some Zelda as well, all that kind of stuff, all three out yesterday. Big long streaming day yesterday. Anyway, well, the third session of Splatoon 2 Testfire, I started getting asked this a lot, and that is what I think about Splatoon 2. Now, it's an odd question because there is only one game type and 4 weapons in the Testfire, at least yesterday there was. I'm hoping today they switch it up and do something different game type or something, and different weapons to play with, but the Testfire is more about Nintendo trying to put load on their servers and tweaking things to see if they can, get the game to run online properly and sort of iron out any problems they didn't see, all that kind of stuff. It's not really about a proper and full demo of the game in any sort of properly representative way of the final product. We don't even have a release date for the final product yet, for crying out loud. Anyway, but first impressions of Splatoon. It plays very, very much like the first one, which is not a bad thing at all. The first one played brilliantly well. It was very, very fun. The internet connection sort of issues, I've heard some people are having some issues with getting their Switch to connect reliably and that sort of stuff, getting kicked off. I had very, very few problems yesterday. I got kicked out of a lobby once because of connection issues. The lobby didn't quite populate properly, maybe 3 or 4 times over the 3 sessions. So it sat there and timed out once or twice, so kicked it back in, kicked it back out, back into the lobby, and everything went fine. But by and large, it was playing absolutely fine. It does look a little bit better than the original game, of course. It's playing at a bit higher resolution. I mean, it's a very cartoony, simplistic presentation style, so it's not night and day compared to the other one, but you can certainly tell the crisper difference. Frame rate wise, I think Nintendo want to target 60 frames per second, because why wouldn't you target 60 frames per second in an online multiplayer shooter kind of thing? But I don't think we quite got there. I don't have a way of directly measuring the frame rate I was getting, but through my eyes, it seemed somewhere around 45-ish. Certainly well above 30, but not quite at 60, I don't think. I am, by the way, streaming to Twitch at 60 frames per second as well, because they just bumped up their maximum upload bitrate limitations. It used to be like 3500 kilobits per second, now it's 6000 kilobits a second. So now I can do a 720p 60 frames per second stream, and it's been working wonderfully well. That's my own little test this weekend I've been doing about that. But yeah, I'm not super huge on competitive online shooters and things like that, because I do, I've got so many different interests. I have very little time to invest into a game like this to be competitive enough to have fun. However, even yesterday, when I was getting lots and lots and lots of Japanese, and this, the original game was extremely popular in Japan, so there are a lot of Japanese players who still have fantastic skill sets in this game that directly translate across to the sequel, of course, because it's almost, it's not that different. So there was a few sessions where I was getting my just asked handed to me, and some other people in my team were letting me down a bit too. I was very rarely the worst person on the team by sessions 2 or 3 yesterday. What was I saying? But yeah, this feels like a game that I could play relatively casually on an ongoing basis, and just not feel like I'm getting my head kicked in like every second of every day. Hopefully by the time the full game comes out, they'll have a friend system. I've already started adding people to my friends list who are sort of regulars and people I know through my Twitch chat and stuff like that. I'm prioritizing those guys. I've got like 20 or so people added already, so hopefully by the time the full game comes around, I'll be able to play with the community and stuff. Haven't quite made up my mind whether I am going to invest in it when it does come out, because again, the online shooter thing is not something that's ever really grabbed hold of me, just because of the time investment it takes to get good and stay competitive. And if you're not competitive, it's harder to have fun. But I think I may give this game another chance. Play it once or twice a week and mix it in with my regular streaming schedule and all that sort of stuff. But long story short, is my first impressions of Splatoon 2 is it's very, very fun. And I mean very fun. Even when I'm losing, I'm having fun because it's just bright and colourful and fun and fast, and there's no sort of down moments, there's no lulls. It's all, you've always got, you know, something interesting to do, a new technique to try and all that sort of stuff. And by the way, if you're wondering, I'm way better with the roller than I am with any other weapon. I feel like I contribute to my team best when I'm just covering territory, because the one-on-one stuff I'm not so good at. Mutual annihilation is the best I ever hope for on a one-on-one confrontation. If I can take them with me when I die, I'm kind of happy enough with that. I suck at the sniper weapon. I'm so bad at. Splat Doolies, the new two-handed weapon. Pew pew. That doesn't go pew pew, by the way. I haven't quite got the knack of that. Maybe I'll give that another go today. But yeah, I'm way better with the roller. I'm a shotgun kind of in-your-face kind of short-range guy. I feel like the roller is... I contribute most. I just cover territory, look after territory. I get as much paint on the ground as I can, because that's, you know, who wins. If the more paint you lay on the ground, that team wins. The kill-death ratio is sort of secondary to all that. Anyway, people asked, people wanted to know, so that's that. Also, I'll be streaming all 3 sessions today. In between that, we'll be doing some Zelda. I may even do some drawing streams today, because I mentioned this in another video the other day, but I'm reviewing a drawing tablet at the moment, and I did say to my regular Twitch viewers that I wanted to do some streams where I sort of draw live on stream and try and rebuild my artistic skills, which have atrophied terribly over the years, because I don't draw anymore. I used to draw lots, I just don't draw anymore, so I'm trying to get back into that, and part of that is reviewing this graphics tablet. So I don't know, maybe we'll try and draw some Splatoon art, and if it's even halfway good, I'll you know, post it up on Twitter, or if it's brilliant, I'll make a t-shirt out of it or something and see if I can make $2 or $3. But there you go. So yeah, please come along to my streams. They're fairly chill streams. They're not sort of overwhelming. The chat room's great and everything. So if you are interested in sort of hanging out while you're playing, even, because we had that yesterday as well, and hopefully the servers match us up. I did get a match up with some people who knew me on the first session. There was another guy, a couple of guys who follow me here, and they were in the same session as me, which is, I don't know what the odds of that are, but that was kind of bewildering fun when we found out afterwards. Dude tweeted me a screenshot. He goes, "Hey, was this you?" I said, "Yeah." Anyway, thanks for watching. I am Blunty. I will catch you next time. Join me on the stream. Splatoon 2, lots and lots of fun. If you have a Switch, absolutely try and get on one of the test fires, because you may like it more than you think you would. I mean, if you're like me and you're not normally attracted to these competitive online multiplayer shooters, arena shooters is basically what Splatoon 2 is, give it a go. Because again, test fire doesn't cost you anything to try, just, you know, an hour or 2 of your time here and there. But you may find that you have way more fun than you might expect. So absolutely worth giving a go. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. I will catch you next time.